Welcome to the LaRocque Life Podcast. We're talking about relationships, adventure, freedom, and just some all-around real and raw conversations. I'm Mike LaRocque. Got my lovely wife Laura with me.
Hey guys,
What are we talking about, babe?
we're going to talk about being grateful for your partner as they are right now and also for your relationship as it is right now.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah,
I like it.
me too.
Grateful for you.
I am grateful for you as well. And I'm also grateful that you choose to dress like me today.
It's slimming. Got the black. If you're listening, we're wearing black. We're wearing black.
Black tops and jeans.
Yeah.
We're like twins. What is that thing where like they talk about you were just talking about this the other day where couples start looking like each other
Well,
as
it's
they
like,
age?
I feel like, isn't it like dog owners and
Yeah,
you
you look
start
like
looking
your
like your dog or whatever? But fucking, I swear, couples start looking like each other. And that's what I said. It's like, thank God you're good looking because I really don't want you to end up looking like me.
No, you told Lennox, yeah, hopefully. What'd you say? Hopefully I start looking like your mom or something? Or
I don't
so
even
that I
know.
don't have to look at. No, I can't remember what that was.
Yeah.
But anyways, it was really funny.
Yeah. Moral of the story is you're pretty.
Thank you. And I was like, look, we're already doing it. We're starting to dress the same, and then soon our faces will start morphing into the same. At least we're quite like different looking. So I mean,
There you go.
it might take us a long time to morph into that.
That's true.
I don't know.
Anyway, okay, enough of that. Well, gratitude. I know it's kind of like it's fucking thrown around a lot, that
Yeah.
term and that phrase, and it's kind of a catchphrase. And what do you think of it, or what are you trying to?
Well, for me, I know like so gratitude was always a thing where it's like make a list of 5 things that you're grateful for before you go to bed or you know when you wake up in the morning, but you have to feel gratitude, right? Like gratitude, the whole idea of being grateful for everything you have in the matter of it attracting more to you is because when you feel grateful, what you put out matches that vibration and comes back to you. So that's how the whole like law of attraction works in the aspect of gratitude. But most people are just kind of like writing out lists of, you know, kind of just sitting there thinking like, what am I grateful for? Oh yeah, I'm grateful for the food over my head, the
food
you know,
over
the
your
food
head?
the food over my head, I mean, the roof over my head, the food on my plate.
Yeah, that's fair.
Just trying to save time here.
Okay? I hear you. Yeah.
And just like busting through a list instead of like personally, I think that your gratitude list would be better if it was like 2 things that you really felt into and allowed your heart to open up around it and like actually felt the joy and the gratitude towards it than listing like a page of 30 things every day.
Right.
That's what I think. It would be more beneficial. But in the aspect of what I wanted to kind of touch on quickly tonight was just thinking about like our relationships and how we're living in this world where coaching and personal development and evolving is like hot topics, right?
Right.
And it's so easy to get so focused on who you want to be, who you want your partner to be, what you want your partnership to look like. And I think it's really easy to get caught up in that and then almost like fault your partner for not being the person that in your fantasy they should be. Right? Instead of like actually sinking into the present moment, which is where you can actually feel and create more of what you want. It's like we're living too far in the future and not being grateful for who and what we have and are with right now.
Oh, that's 100% fair. As you say that, I even just with work, you always do that. Kind of, well, myself, construction and anything involving anything like that is you always have to plan for the next thing, or you're always thinking the next thing. And I forget that most times is like you got to stop at the end of each day and just write out what the hell went well and what didn't go well. But I mean, you just got to be grateful that, you know, everyone went home to their families that night and you got something done that was on the list, right? It's so easy to get the blinders on and just keep pushing and pushing forward. Yeah. That you forget all the little things in between. Yeah. And I noticed that for life, even for myself. Yeah, I get really bad tunnel vision here the last 5-6 years, right? Because we've seen how we know people how they live, right? And we like pushing for that life, and hung out with so many people doing startups and living just a completely different life, not living the 9 to 5, not living the dreading waking up, going to work kind of thing.
Mhm.
And I just have tunnel vision of trying to get there, but then you forget all the things around you of what we're grateful for and what we have. And um, health is obviously the biggest one, right? And it's so easy for me to, and I do it, right? Like I get up and down and a bit of a roller coaster, and I really take my health for granted. I mean, I've never had to stay in a hospital. Aside from getting my nose fixed, like I never had surgery. Like I'm so lucky, especially what I've done to my fucking body. Like I've been very, very lucky. Um, and yeah, I always forget that, or it doesn't really register for me. I take it for granted. And
Mhm.
I mean, it's huge, right? You don't have fuck all if you don't have your health.
Mhm.
Doesn't matter how much money you have, you'll waste all or not waste. You'll spend all that money trying to get your health back,
Mhm.
right? And
Yeah, well, without your health, yeah, you have nothing, right?
no, and I really that as we're talking about it, yeah, I really take that one for granted, and I really got to start being a lot more appreciative of that. We've definitely taken control of our health a lot more, even just in the past what month, 4 weeks, 5 weeks.
Well, I would say this
This
year,
year's been a
but
big one, yeah,
then like another level. It's like anything in life
yeah,
when you start going into it, it's you start somewhere.
hmm
You have to start at the surface, and then as you get used to that, you go deeper and deeper and deeper, right? So I think we just up leveled for sure our health another a whole new level in the last month or so.
yeah, big time, right? And just feeling that now, and it's yeah, it just. But again, I catch myself like, okay, now once I get this, I'll now I
Yeah.
got my 4 pack. I gotta get my 6 pack,
Yeah.
and just like all these things. It's like, God, you're a dummy. Don't you remember like 6 months ago when you had a barrel?
A barrel. Is that what we call it?
Oh, fucking something. I don't know. An extra 40 some pounds
I had a fucking something.
of depression and anxiety and just a lot going on in
It's
there, right?
all
So
contained in there.
yeah, pretty much. So it just these little, those are just surface things, let
Mhm.
alone that's just me, not even a relationship wise. Like,
Yeah.
um, I know sometimes when we do talk like this, and um, people might think that, oh, you guys are, I don't know how to say that. Like, we're not like we're putting on a show. This is us, and this is how we talk. But I mean, it hasn't always been this way, and I got to stop and realize like I got to be grateful for this relationship. Grateful that I can talk to you about fucking anything and everything, um, and just yeah, lay it on the line. And that's what it's supposed to be. That's what a relationship is. Like you got my back, I got your back, no matter what. And we don't. It's taken a long time, or not a long time, but we've evolved to this where it's not like we're not throwing things in each other's face. We're not like I genuinely.
Pause for a second. We never threw things. Literally. I just was like, wait, we threw stuff?
Yeah,
Then I just realized someone else might get that visual.
I guess, eh?
I mean, it doesn't really matter if you do throw things, but
Yeah, so
I
be
don't
it.
think I ever threw anything at you.
It's an
Did
old
I?
Chester Knight song. Love you when you're throwing things around.
But I don't think
Anyway,
I threw things.
no, I don't.
No. We
No.
weren't even really the argumental type. We were more like the silent type.
Yeah, that's true. Eh?
Anyways, I'm sorry I totally interrupted you.
No, that's fine. But I don't even know where I was going with that, to be honest. But I mean, it's just to have this relationship, even just where it's at now, and I mean, it's always evolving, and it's just gonna keep changing. But I mean, just to have someone in my corner that I can rely on and that I can talk to, and I know like it's a marriage and that's what it's supposed to be. But fuck, man, most marriages you don't have that,
Hmm.
and just to have that person in your corner, and I have your back no matter what. I mean, it's just yeah, that alone should be the whole fucking list of gratitude. Should just be
Yeah.
that. I mean,
Could just be there.
it really can.
Yeah, because what did I say right before this? I don't know if this is what it's actually called, but like destination or happiness destination or destination happiness.
Well, it's gonna be. You're gonna coin that phrase now. So
Well, I think that that might exist. I'm not really sure if it does, or maybe I totally butchered it, but I like destination happiness or
yeah,
happiness destination, which basically means that like I will be happy when. So I will be happier when I lose 20 pounds, or I'll be happier when me and my husband have a more connected relationship, or I will be happier and I'll enjoy life more when my son's a little bit older and he's not so much,
hmm
right? So much energy.
or just
Or,
things too, right? Like buying things.
yeah,
Good
I'll be
God,
happier when I buy that
whatever.
coat.
Yeah,
I'll
or
be
that
happier when I
car.
have this much money in my bank account, right?
Hmm
And I just think like talking about relationship wise, because we can do that in all areas of our life. But I think it's just like tonight is just a reminder that even if you're not where you want to be in your partnership, you are with someone that you want to make it work with or you want to grow deeper with, right? So instead of
Mhm.
focusing on, I know goals and intentions are amazing, but at the same time, focusing on what you already have, because when you appreciate what you already have with that person, that's what you'll grow. And like the whole cliche, like what you water will grow, right?
Well, no,
So,
it's true though, right? There's reasons those sayings have been around that
mhm,
long. Like it's
yeah.
fucking true.
And I think we do need to talk about it because I think that you look at a meme or some quote that's shared and you're like, yeah, I know that. But like, are you actually having conversation around that, right? Or
Yeah.
like actually putting into action and implementing that into your everyday life where it's like I just found myself the other night. Actually, it was last night because it was Friday. And so you had like a really busy week at work, right?
Hmm.
And then you fell asleep on the couch and I was finishing up dishes. And I found my mind starting to go like in this spiral of being like really annoyed. And I was like, must be nice to just lay on the couch and do nothing. But I was like totally being a victim to myself and like not actually putting myself in your shoes and thinking about the work week you just had and like the things you had to do all week. And I was just so self absorbed in what I was doing all week that I was like, right. Yeah. I'm actually very blessed that I get to work my business 3 days a week and then have 2 days to be home with my son. And you go to work for 5 days a week, right? And
6. Had to work today.
yeah, for a few hours. But then I was like, this is what we chose. This is what we agreed upon. Cause then I was like, well, it's
Oops.
not like I'm not working on those days when I'm solely with Lennox.
Hmm.
Like it
Oh,
is
it's
hard work.
fucking
And
hard work.
but
Yeah.
this is what I was trying to tell myself, right? And I was like, and then so what? That's my job to do the dishes and make supper and do this and do that and clean. But then I was like, well, yeah, actually it is. Like, and I'm very blessed that I get to do that because I love doing that and I love being with him.
Right.
And so that's where like I think this kind of came from for me to think about sharing this openly because I always love to share like we're not perfect. We're
God, no.
always working through stuff, right? And that's where I found myself thinking like I wish that you would help me more, but I don't actually. Like I think you help me great and I know that I can share with you if I want help or I know how to ask for help.
Yeah.
So it was just this like crazy little story that my mind was kind of going down and then I was like, wait a second. And as soon as I came into back into like how I'm grateful for what you do work and what you have to put up with work and then what I get to what I have to, but also what I get to do in my life, right? Like,
Right.
obviously, it's not all roses and butterflies either, but I'm very grateful for it all. And as soon as I switched back into that perspective and that feeling, I was like, holy shit, like that was some crazy thoughts that were coming out.
Mhm.
But so I guess basically just in sharing this is like, just catch yourself in those moments, right? And if you're living too far in the future, try to like reel it back and be like, what am I grateful for right now? What am I blessed with right now? And instead of focusing on all of the things that need to change, just like water that, right? Go tell your partner that you're really grateful for all of the hard work they do or the way they compliment you or the way they make the bed or I'm grateful that you're just in my life because I love you. Like whatever it is, right? And
Yeah.
just bring yourself back here to this moment and feel it and express it. And I think that you'll notice your life changes so much faster instead of focusing on what needs to be done.
Oh, big time, hey? And it sucks chasing that. I mean, been there, done that. Like you just constantly chasing and thinking this next thing's gonna make you better or
Hmm.
make it better or make life better or somehow make you happy. But
Yeah.
fuck, for the most part, like I was trying to buy stuff to make myself feel better, but then you buy it and you feel bad because you spent money on something, and then you're like, fuck, how am I gonna
It's a
pay for this?
spiral.
And it's just a dirty old spiral. And then you start resenting that thing that you bought. Like I know a lot of like when I was selling cars and trucks and stuff, and I felt so bad for people, and I tried to talk them out of buying things. I was a terrible fucking salesman. But I mean, people just get themselves so upside down on car deals where they keep going in this cycle or this buying cycle of trading in a vehicle that after 2-3 years, but they've still owed money on the last
Yeah.
5 vehicles that they've traded in. So I mean, they're driving an SUV, but their payments are like $140,000. Like if they actually looked at their principal and what they're actually paying, you're paying for a Lamborghini, but you're driving a fucking Civic, right? And people just didn't get that, and they couldn't understand that, and they're just all you had to do was put the payment in front of them, and they'd be fine. Meanwhile, on the back end of it, it's like that's 8 years of payments.
Yeah.
You're not even going to touch this, and then probably going to trade this car off in 2 years to be even more upside down on something.
Yeah.
So just things like that. It just you don't realize the amount of I don't even know, like the hurt you're putting on yourself or the unneeded pressure
Pressure. Yeah.
to make these ridiculous payments on something that you're basically resenting anyway.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And again, you can do that in a relationship, right?
Yeah.
Then you start resenting that person. You're like, what am I doing?
Yeah, and actually I'm happy you brought that up because that is a big thing because I think and this kind of goes into what we talked about a few podcasts ago, a few episodes ago, is that what I'm supposed to say?
No, whatever.
About like putting couples up on pedestals, right? Because I think that's also what happens is we look at other people from the outside and we think, well, they look like they're, so happy or they have it all together or whatever. I want that. In the meantime, you really actually have no idea what's happening behind closed doors or how they
No.
actually feel. And they might be putting on like a huge facade. We know that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, yeah, then you start to resent your partner because of the pedestal you've put these other people on. And
Yeah.
you're like, but he's not like him.
Why can't you be more like
why
him?
can't
eh?
you be more like him? But then it's like, well, what if you, took a look at yourself? And I just did a post on this the other day. Like, so when you're pointing your finger at someone, there's 3 other fingers pointing back at you, right?
Holy.
So it's like when you're blaming or like not even blaming your partner, but just like resenting your partner for like, well, why can't he be more like this or more like that person or stop doing this or start doing that or do more of this?
Mhm.
It's like, well, am I doing those things? Oh shit, no, I'm not. Okay, it's time for me to step up.
Oh,
right?
it's so easy to do that.
Yeah. Quit putting the blame on everyone else. So
Yeah.
I
But
think,
that's a big one for
Mhm.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah. And then because you were talking about like material things and cars, because now as soon as we like think of what we're going to talk about in a topic, then like we usually do it that afternoon, right? We're just kind of like, hey, what should we talk about tonight? Like what's been coming up for you? But then obviously more stuff comes through as we're planning the podcast
Yep.
or planning the episode. And so tonight, as I was reading Lennox's books, I was thinking we do the same thing in those circumstances as well. So yes, we can live forward with money, but we can also live forward in experiences as well. And even with our kids, because I find myself doing that a lot where it's like, I look forward to bedtime so much. And I think a lot of parents do in the aspect of once they're sleeping, not the act of putting them to bed because that sucks. And I know a lot of parents don't appreciate that
No.
or don't love that
Yeah.
hour or 2 or for some
Whatever
5.
it is, yeah.
Yeah. But as I was putting him to bed and like reading his books, I just kept thinking about how many nights I've always been like, okay, hurry up, pick your book, or like, okay, let's get through these books because I still got to go clean the kitchen. I still got to go, do the laundry. I still got to do this, do that. And I want to have time to relax before I have to go to sleep too, right?
Right.
So it's like always kind of pushing these moments on. And tonight, as I was reading him his books and he was like all cuddled into me and we were laughing about the dinky donkey and whatever, I was like, he's going to be, it actually dawned on me the other day when he always says he's going to do everything when he's 5.
Yeah.
Right. That's his new thing. Like, oh, I'll get that when I'm 5 or I'll do that when I'm 5. And then I was telling someone the other day because they're like, well, how old is he? And I was like, oh, he'll be 5 in a year and a half. I was like, oh my God, he is not a baby anymore. I'm like, a year and a half, like that's going to come so fast. And then he's 5.
Yeah.
So anyways, as I was just sitting there tonight, I was like, okay, let's cuddle. Like, I don't even want this moment to go away, even though I know I still have things to do tonight. At the same time, like we're never going to get this back.
Nope.
So I guess gratitude, like for our partners and just being grateful for everything we have. I mean, yeah, of course, maybe there's lots of things in my life I could, and I wish we had, or I wish we were at, or I wish we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, when I actually sink back into this, like I have an amazing life. And
yeah, 100%, right?
Yeah.
We gotta look at even tomorrow, like day off tomorrow, fucking crazy hot weather. We just got another paddleboard, just basically a miracle because all of Western Canada, they don't exist.
They're gone.
They're gone. So we got another one. So all 3 of us are going to be out on the water tomorrow together.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that alone is grateful. And then with material things, like we talked about it before. Like we were talking about bribing Lennox for sleep the past week. Did we talk about that last week?
I
We must
don't remember
have,
if we did or not.
But today was D-Day where I actually had to pony up on that promise, that bribery. So he wanted
yeah, we did, because it's not a bribery, it's a reward.
Oh yeah, reward system.
Which I think that's probably against certain parenting things as well. I don't
Hey,
know.
fuck, whatever works, man. There is no
It
right or
was
wrong.
more like it was an excitement to earn
Oh yeah,
something.
and he was jacked up. Is awesome, but yeah. So we got him a remote control monster truck, right? So that him and I went to the store, and like he's such a big man doing his thing, and um, I love watching him in store. Like the way he's a special dude. Just the way he touches people's lives, or just the way people react to him, it's just amazing. And then being in like this RC store, RC, yeah, RC store is like all these fucking nerdy dudes. I'm sure they're really nice guys, but like it's just funny watching like them interact with him, and like yeah, it was awesome. But
You're also the dad.
I know,
So
yeah, no one
remember
gives a
this.
fuck about that. Yeah, sorry
Yeah.
guys, I know everyone's kids. Like, hang on, I got a picture of him here for you. Yeah, no one cares about
My
that.
kid is so cool.
Yeah, but it's funny because he was the voice of reason. Talk about like wanting the next thing or like purchasing stuff. That's just the way I am. Obviously, I got to work on that still. But fucking 3.5-year-old was the voice of reason. Like, we should get this bigger one. He's like, no, Dad, we'll get that one when I'm 5.
Yeah, again, the
Again,
5
that's where
thing.
the 5. He's
Yeah.
like, no, I'll get that one when I'm 5. I'll get this one now. And it's like it was a smaller truck. I was like, how the fuck are you the voice of reason in this situation?
You're 3.5 and you're smarter than me.
Yeah.
Well,
Oh,
they are though.
well, he is, right?
Yeah.
100% he is. But it was just stuff like that, just so special, and just had to realize that, and then I got to reap those rewards tonight, where like him and I just went out into like some, I don't even know what you call it. It's kind of they're still building condos around us, so there's kind of a boneyard with a lot of crushed gravel and like rebar and big rocks and stuff like that, and we're just ripping around this truck, and he's just yeah, it was so much fun, and and to get to do that with my son, and I never got to do that with my dad because like I had older parents and working on the farm. It was different generation, right?
Mhm.
I maybe those did happen. I just don't recall any of those memories, but just be grateful for that time, and to
Mhm.
have him like dad, 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 and it gets kind of after a while you're like fuck, what do you want? But at the same time, when you can sit and reflect about it, you're like, oh, like I dread when those end.
Yeah.
And he's
He's
like,
like, I
"Leave me
don't want to
alone.
hang
Yeah,
out with
leave
you.
me alone." And one of my friends is like, "Come back."
Well, which is so true because even like, let's take for instance his pooping, right? Like he would always need you or need me, like, but now he tells us to leave the room. And I remember like the first time or two it happened, I was like, are you sure?
Yeah, it was
Like,
like an orchestra. Eh?
you
Both of
don't
us had to be
need me.
there and like hold his hand and everything like that. Now he's like, "Kate, shut the door."
Yeah, he's like, go sit on the bed and shut the door.
Yeah,
Whereas I remember like the first time that happened, I was like super bummed. So I can only imagine what's going to happen when, like, yeah, he's like, oh, I'm not hanging out with you guys tonight. I want to go to my friend's house or something.
yeah, exactly right.
I
But
bet it's okay. We can take care of our own emotions. We
we'll
don't
cross
need
that.
him
We'll
to.
cross that bridge when we get there.
We're not going to put that on him. But, anyways,
No.
this is kind of veering off, but just yeah, definitely like appreciating the
Yeah,
moments, right, with our families, our partners. But that's all we wanted to do today was just
I
really
think so.
like remind you to, because we're reminding ourselves, right? So remind you that you really do have everything you need, even if don't have the perfect relationship, and there's no such thing as that.
No.
But like the ideal relationship that you're aiming towards or you want to grow into, there's always so much to be grateful for in the process, right?
Yeah.
So I just kind of invite you to pause and lean into that a little bit more, I guess, and
No,
feel it.
no, that's perfect. Well, let's leave it at that.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So, where can people find you?
You will find me at lauralarocque.com, Laura LaRocque, no, sorry, at Laura LaRocque on Instagram and Facebook. And then you can also follow our LaRocque Life pages, Instagram and Facebook as well.
Perfect. Okay. Well, thanks, guys. I love you. Thanks for listening.
I love you.
I love you.
Thanks, guys. Like this love triangle between the camera and you.
There you go.
All right. Thanks.